everybody. Welcome to Feral Ladies -1. Marisa is still handling some family business out of state, so we miss her and we wish her well. And hopefully, she's here in the comments and can hear us all talk about how much we love her so much. But that being said, we do have an amazing special guest with us here today. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Oz.
Our feral bachelor.
Our feral bachelor. A lot of you guys probably already know Oz, but Oz, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I am Jon R. Osborne. I am a fantasy and science fiction writer.
I swear, I thought you were going to say I am a feral bachelor.
There is that. I am a feral bachelor. I'm also somewhat of a booze enthusiast. I mean, people know the hashtag Bring Oz Beer, but
Bring Oz Beer,
Bring Oz Booze.
That's right.
Tonight I'm a little Scotch on the rocks. So
nice.
I
have my mocha.
I have water with ice.
I got that too.
My husband made these delicious grilled ham and cheese sandwiches and tomato soup for dinner, and it was so good. And I was scarfing it down trying to get here on time, which I failed to record this. But now my mouth is it was eating hot things, so I'm oh, let me.
That grilled ham and cheese sounds good.
Oh my god, and he's so good at it too. I mean, you guys know I love to sing the virtues of my husband and all of his many talents. But making grilled ham and cheese is definitely one of them. So,
we love a man who can cook.
Yes, we do love a man who can cook. It's true. But Oz, so you write science fiction and fantasy, and how long have we known each other?
Did we meet? Did we meet at the release for Fistful of Credits? It was last Liberty Con at the Choo Choo.
Ooh.
That'd be 2017.
I was at that one, yeah. So we must have met at that. Yeah, that's right, because I was at that release party with Chris Smith. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's right. That's awesome.
Oh, and I think we met at my first Fantasy, and I had my very first professional author type panel with you and Marisa, if I remember right, on music.
That's cool.
I think that was you.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
I remember that we were on a panel. I don't remember exactly what it was about.
Yeah.
But since I dig soundtracks and scores and
yeah, I really think it was writing music and writing and how you use it in your process. And I was like, oh, I was reading your book on the plane. Max Falls, I think, the 4-H book.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've all been sort of part of the Chris Kennedy publishing family for a number of years, for Time Math years, and kind of been in that orbit. And one of the things that the CKP particularly is known for, and one of the things that we've all three participated in various different ways, are the kind of these big shared world. Sorry, my nose is itching. These big shared world collaborative enterprises, right? The most well known being the 4HU, which again, all three of us have written in. So. Tell me, Oz, how did you get involved either with the 4HU specifically or with collaborative writing and shared worlds in particular?
So actually, this is actually a pretty good story because this was in conjunction, I want to say 2016. Might have been 2015, but I think it was 2016. And Mark had pitched Chris on the Four Horsemen universe.
So that's Mark Wandry and Chris Kennedy.
Kennedy. This was the second time that Mark had pitched it to him. The first time, the previous year, Chris was too busy. But this year that year he was like, "Well, okay, send it to me and I'll take a look at it." And the next morning, I went down for breakfast and Chris happened to be there. So we got breakfast together, and he said, "Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell Mark, yeah, I read it. Got some bad news. I want to write in it."
I love it.
Oh, so this is like the genesis of the
I had a ringside seat to the birth of the 4-H-U, basically. Yes.
That is amazing.
That's
And that's also when it got established as, a shared universe right off the bat with both Chris and Mark working on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to Chris about actually a Reluctant Druid.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, it sounds like something I'd like to read, but I really, don't do fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the first 2 4-H-U books took off, Mark and Chris decided, okay, we're going to expand the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when they decided they were going to do the anthology that became 3. And Mark got hold of me. He's like, look, I know you've been like wanting to write forever, and you've been working on a novel, but Chris said that if you submit a short story for this anthology, he'll take a look at it. There's no promises past that.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he would at least give it a read. And I'm like, well, okay, at least if worst case scenario, it's a chance to get, some professional feedback.
Yeah, right.
And then it was LibertyCon that year. So probably 2017. Chris and I met and we had lunch again. And he's like, look, if your book is as good as the story you gave me, I'll publish it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got into 4-H-U, which was basically my audition.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also how I got them Legion Accords published.
Yeah. So that's really interesting because my story, I mean, other than the ringside seat to the formation of the universe, but my story is actually a little bit similar to that, because so I first became aware of the 4-H-U when I got an email from Chris that was like, hey, we have decided that we're going to, this is Chris Kennedy. I write with Mark Wandry. We're doing this 4-H-U, 4 Horsemen Universe project. And I'd kind of like heard some buzz about it in the background. And, but basically the email was like, we've decided we're going to, we're already just about ready to put out the first anthology. We've decided we're going to go ahead and do a second one. And we've noticed your work as a short fiction writer. I think because I had just had a story of Black Tide Rising and then one in Forged at Blood from Bane come out. I'm pretty sure that's why how they knew me or whatever. And so we just wanted to invite you, to submit something. And at first I was like, because I didn't know the names Mark Wandry, Chris Kennedy, and like I said, I kind of heard some buzz about some military sci-fi stuff, but I didn't connect the two necessarily. So I actually reached out to Rob Hampson, speaker, who is another one of our like 4-H-U fam guys, and because he and I were friends, and I was like, hey, have you heard of these guys and this thing? And he's like, yes. And I'm so glad you got that invite because I got it too. And you should definitely think about doing it. I'm definitely going to think about doing it. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. So, I read through the Bible and everything. And I reached out to Chris and said, hey, I have I was thinking about this story. It looks like all of your aliens are kind of animal based, but I don't see any felinoids. Can I play with that? And he was like, well, we've created one, but the book isn't released yet. Here's what they look like. And he sent me the scene that included what became the Depic.
Right.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, they're assassins. Okay, I can work with this. That's perfect, because I had cats and I knew what their, cuddly sociopathic personalities were like. And so I was like, done. Yeah, let's do this. So that's when I wrote Gilded Cage. And then after that, I had gone to, I think it might have been MarsCon at the time, but it was in Williamsburg. And that's where I met Chris and Mark face to face. And I guess I think I had also, I turned that story around real quick because the idea, as soon as I read the scene that Chris sent me, the idea was there. And I was like, done. Right. And so I wrote the story very quickly, turned it in very quickly. And because of that, I think someone else had to drop out of the anthology. So I actually slid into the first anthology when I was originally invited for the second one. They came to me at that convention and were like, hey, we really liked your story. I'd love it if you'd be interested in expanding that into a novel. And I was like, I would very much be interested in doing that, but I got to let you know, I'm already under contract because I was already working on Gunpowder and Embers. John Ringo and Chris Smith. It's like, I'm already under contract for this other project, but I would be if you'd be willing to let me do both and bring on a co-author to help me out, then yeah, I'm interested. And they're like, yeah, we could probably work with that. And so that's how I came in. By the way, I had not talked to Marisa about this at all. I just was like, she'll do it. It'll be fine.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey, read this story. Tell me what you think. You like it? Cool. You want to write a novel? Great. But in the meantime, I had a novel that was on submission at Bain, and Tony sent it back to me, rejected it, but gave me like great feedback on it. So I revised it, and then I was like, well, should I like shop it out or anything? And then I realized that because the reason I had sent it to Bain in the first place was because, there was a codicil in my contract for Gunpowder that said that Bain had right of first refusal on any subsequent work, not just in the universe, but like in general. Right. And so I was like, well, that wasn't in my contract with Chris, but if I have morally, it seems to make sense, right? If I have an existing relationship with this publisher, I also have an existing relationship with this publisher. So let me see if he'd be interested. And so I sent him Minds of Men. And it was very much the same thing. He was like, yeah, I love this. Let's do it. So it's all because of that 4HU short story. Yeah. Which is, if you think about it, kind of ties back to one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this sort of like shared worlds phenomenon, right? Like, because it does seem to be a really great springboard for people. What are your thoughts on that, Oz?
Oh yeah, I mean, I know 4HU wasn't the first. In fact, the first one I remember was Thieves' World.
Yeah,
way back in the day, it was a fantasy. Technologies.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the first one, but it's one of the most well-known early ones. That's a Ben Yallo question. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, you were saying, go on.
But with CKP, that kind of almost became like a precedent. A lot of our first universes were shared universes. I mean, in addition to 4HU, we had the Salvage universe, the Fallen World universe.
Yeah.
And those both, also had several authors write in it.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I wrote both of them in short stories. So
No,
I wrote in Salvage. I never wrote in Fallen World, but I had
a short story in this Fallen World, and obviously like 7 Salvage novels. But I didn't have my first story wasn't a 4HU story, but the 4HU is still kind of how I got my start with CKP, because Kacey Moore's Boy Kacey, back before I'd had anything published, before I'd written anything worth publishing, Kacey sent me his draft novel for his 4HU book, which was These Things We Do. And he was like, I'm like, okay, I haven't read any of these books yet. What do I need to read to make sense of this, to give you good feedback? And so I read the first 4 books, starting with Cartwright's Cavaliers. And I'm like, oh, this is fun. I love this. It was so great. And that reading for Boy Kacey led to him going, oh, hey, there's this urban fantasy open call for CKP, which is how I got my actual publishing start. So 4HU has provided so many options and so many opportunities. That's the word I was looking for. For everybody, either directly or indirectly.
Yeah. And I think part of it is because of what you just said, Melissa, is that it was fun. It was a fun universe, right? Like, it didn't sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. It didn't take itself too seriously. It doesn't take itself too seriously. I mean, there's deep themes and character driven fiction and a lot of gut wrench emotional moments, but there's also giant purple teddy bear aliens, and
Murder kitty.
murder kitties, and really funny snark and banter, and chipmunks. Yeah,
Right? Like you have a trio of flatar. How do you say it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
flatar.
I always say words wrong, folks. This is
This is what happens when you read
my
too much.
pronunciation. But you have a trio of these little alien freaking chipmunks running around pretending to be the chipmunks. Like there is such a wide range in the 4-HU of just everything from absurd to that's my heart on the floor that has been stabbed and set on fire. Thank you so much, Mark Wandry, with more than a few times that got me. Oof.
Yeah,
it's so good.
The Kali Ma moment, right?
Just
That got me a few times too. Like mother chucker.
So what? I mean, I could talk all day about the 4-HU, but that was not the intent of this, and we'd probably piss Mark and Chris off if we did an episode talking about the 4-HU without them.
Without them, right?
So, which maybe we want to do that. That might be fun.
We should actually have them on at some point.
We should. We definitely should. Because it's closing out, right?
Right?
Yes.
Like the main storyline.
We're in the end game.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. We are. So besides being fun, like what are some other hallmarks? I mean, and you can talk more about why it needs to be fun if you want to. What are some other hallmarks of a good shared world, right? One that's going to be attractive both to writers as like a fun property to play in, but also to readers as like, I need my fix,
Well, I mean, I think there's actually a couple of things from the writer standpoint. It's a way to actually to get more visibility.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you come into an existing world with this big fan base like the 4-HU, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot more eyes on your book from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
And then
having
to focus on doing all the basic world building, you got to focus on putting your spin on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Within the 4-HU, we actually have like a few what I call franchises.
Mm-hmm.
One being the Depic line, another one being the Peacemakers.
Mm-hmm.
And so even within those, then we have these themes that people that like a particular kind of story can focus on. And it also gives us a chance to appeal to more readers.
Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely right. It's and it's kind of funny because sometimes that not really backfires because whatever, but we've actually had a couple of like angry reviews that are like, stop talking about the cats, get back to the mech combat, And it's like, hey man, there's 100 books. Just go read the other ones.
there's mechs in about, probably 90 of them.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, even if you have both the cats and the mechs, like I did in Companions of Chains, there's still gonna be people that complain about the chipmunks or the romance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can never please everybody, y'all, but
no, but in a shared world though, you have so many resources.
Yes.
You might be able to like, you're never gonna please everybody all of the time, but you might be able to please most people some of the time. Does that make sense? Most of the time.
Oh
yeah.
Now, one of the things I really liked about Shared World is it's almost as like a baby author, it's almost like training wheels.
Yes.
Right? Like Oz said, with like the world building has already been done. There is a world Bible. There are rules that have been established. And it's like a sandbox that you get to go play in. You get to bring your own little toys. You get your characters and your story. And part of the fun though is like not just doing your own thing, right? It's tying it in and doing little, not just the big stuff, but the little things like, oh, this character here is also mentioned over here, or just little things like that. It makes it really, again, fun.
I honestly think that those tie-ins were a large part of the reason for the success of the early 4-HU novels, because I know Ike did, and Marisa and I certainly did, like actively work to try and tie in the characters or at least the organizations from the first core 4 the first core tetralogy, right? Because and with Assassin, it was a little bit difficult because we were telling a story that was like a flashback. The entire book was in the timeline prior to when Cartwright's Cavaliers had happened. It was almost 100 years earlier. So we couldn't actually use the same characters, but we definitely used the companies, the mercenary companies, you know, particularly the was it the Horde? I think it was the Golden Horde.
Yeah, it was Bubba's truck. I'm almost positive.
Bubba's truck. Yeah, we redshirted a truck. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. So, what else? What else is important for why should readers enjoy a why do you think what pulls readers to Shared Worlds, you think?
I think they come initially for an author or a concept, like, okay, you're really into mecha, or you're really a fan of Entecea, right? But then you get in and there's this smorgasbord.
Yes.
And you find all these cool things you didn't know about. And again, back with like different writers having different voices or focusing on different elements. You know, if you want, you know, some more, emotional stories, you go to certain writers. If you want more just raw, you know, red meat action, you can go in another section of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What about you, Melissa? What do you think?
Well, I think part of the appeal, two things. This is a two-part answer. So it's almost like an expanded version of like an anthology, right? Because when you pick up an anthology, you're like, I'm picking up this anthology because of this concept or this author. But then I get to see all these other authors and maybe go, ooh, I like this one, this one, this one. I'm gonna go see what else they have. Mm-hmm. So you have that concept with a shared universe. But the other thing is just the like output, right? Like with the shared
volume,
right? And with the way our society has evolved with entertainment, with streaming services and binge watching, that
binge reading.
Binge reading is huge. Like people don't want to wait a year in between books anymore, even though, sorry, we can only go so fast. But when you're talking a shared universe that has like 20 different authors, well, here's a book a month.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we're almost a book. I think we've actually passed book 100.
Yeah.
I think I was 101 with my last one.
Nice. I think I was like 92, 93.
I don't know. I was right in there with my book with Shady recently. Yeah. So yeah. 100% agree with both of those. The other thing too, that I think is attractive to a reader about a shared world is that shared worlds really lend themselves to sort of multifaceted storytelling, right? Because I mean, you have the novels, you have the short stories. Hollywood, call us. You can absolutely make movies out of our books. You know, we would love that.
Multi-season series HBO flicks. You know,
right? Yeah, for sure. But
source material,
right? But like, there's an entire role-playing game that exists in the Four Horsemen universe. Oz, you want to tell us about that a little bit?
Well, sure. I mean, it's actually I don't say a side effect, but part of the whole shared universe was giving the ability for readers to share the universe themselves. Because I mean, we got asked about fan fiction, and that's kind of something we're like, you know, if you do it, we're not going to look at it because you know, there's a whole bunch of legality goes with stuff like that.
Correct.
Another way to craft stories in the universe is through role-playing games. And Mark knew that, like, you know, one of my big, you know, things was that, you know, I wanted to create or, you know, work in role-playing games.
Yeah. And
so when he just like, hey, what do you think about doing an RPG for the Four Horsemen universe? I was like, oh, yes.
Yeah. So it's called Rules of Engagement, and it may in fact be out by the time this airs, actually.
So the Kickstarter backers already have their digital copies.
Right.
What we're waiting on now is the print process.
Yeah.
We're print proofs. So far, there's been one change that our layout person says will take 5 minutes to fix. And then it's just up to the printing cycle, how long it'll take to print the books, and then we ship them. And then that'll be wrapped. A 12 to 18 month project that took 5 years.
Yeah. It's that's crazy. But what a labor of love, though. I mean, just to keep going with it.
There's roughly 180,000 words in the rule book.
Yeah, and art, so much art.
Yeah, ton of art.
Yeah. And I think it's so fun because I remember when you guys ran the Kickstarter, one of the stretch goals was to reach a certain threshold, and then you were going to include an expansion that allowed for the Depic, the characters that Marisa and I created and developed, to be playable characters. And so it just made me, like you were talking earlier about how the universe itself kind of has franchises. It's interesting to me that it's it's almost like the game is the same way with its expansions,
Right. Yeah, I kind of got bullied into doing the Depic add-on. The concept for the Depic is, okay, there's a Depic in the room. You guys, pull for initiative. It's like, what? To see what order we go in, or to see what order you die in?
We did kind of write them that way. I'm not going to lie. They're real badass, real OP from the get-go. Yeah.
They were a challenge to convert to game statistics.
I bet. How did you do it? Can you talk to that a little bit?
Without getting too much in the weeds, I basically had to come up with a specific mechanics for the Depic, way above their weight class, literally.
Yeah. That's funny. Well, thank you for taking such good care of them.
Well, but see, that's one of the things with me is I love doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So when Mark asked me to do it, there was more to it than just converting all the background information. It was coming up with the rules on how to handle all the different aliens, ranging from Tortantulas down to Depic. The Caspers required their whole new rule set.
Yeah. So figuring all of those mechanics out, that was a big job. It was a big job. So, well, that's so cool, man. I'm so excited for you guys that it's finally coming to fruition, and
just in time for the main storyline to wrap.
Yeah. But that's great though, right? Because it like you said, it means that people, the fans can go and create their own storylines. Yeah, that's awesome. You have your own shared universe, don't you?
Yes, I do. The Milesian Urban Fantasy.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
So originally, I kind of wanted to do that, make an urban fantasy sandbox from the get-go. Because, I saw how much fun the 4HU was.
Yeah.
And for a long time, that didn't really happen. We had the first 3 books come out, and they did pretty good. In fact, Reluctant Druid has some bestseller gold tags and a Barnes & Noble green tag. And then, of course, The Tempered Warrior was a finalist for Dragon Best Fantasy in 2018. Unfortunately, another finalist was named Brandon Sanderson.
I've never heard of him.
It was down to me and him, obviously.
Obviously, right? New guy. Okay. I'm sure he'll do fine.
That's all right. All of my finalist nods were next to a guy named Steve Sterling for alternate history. Or Harry Turtledove. That's the other one.
MBD.
Yeah. Anyway, as you were saying.
I really didn't think that anything was going to end up happening with the shared universe until someone told Haley, we tell this story differently.
I was gonna say I've heard her version of the story.
I'm not saying that alcohol could be involved in shall we say editing the way events go. She puts it. I came to her, and I could have sworn someone sent her to me. I think maybe Rob.
Oh, yeah. Rob's a bit of an instigator sometimes. Rob being Rob Howell, for those of you not familiar with all of our friends.
Multiple Caseys, multiple Robs. It's fine.
Yeah.
But so we talked, and she was interested in doing Slavic mythology, which mythology is one of my jams. If you didn't pick up from reading the Milesian Accords.
Right.
And I thought it would be a really cool idea that she had to go into the Slavic mythology. So I'm like, okay, well, we would have to put it somewhere a little bit off to the side because we already have, Middle America, Central Illinois, being stomped on by the Celts. She was like, well, what about the Pacific Northwest? It's like, well, okay, it's not California because for some reason the Fae folks say don't go to California. We haven't found out why. Maybe it'll be alluded to actually in book 7 coming up. But anyway, and then also Shady was interested, or David Shadoin, another one of your co-authors, in fact, was interested in delving into Asian mythology. A lot of it started off as Japanese, but he's also dug a lot into Buddhist mythology as well.
That's cool.
Yeah, with Shady. So for those of you who don't know, Shady and I were stationed together in Japan, and so he did a lot of, he's like Oz. He's really into like mythology and folklore and stuff. So he did a lot. We did a lot of traveling to various shrines and sites, and learning about local history, but also the folklore and the legends and the mythologies surrounding all these places that we were visiting. So that surprises me not at all that he's like, hey, I got an idea for you. So that's cool. So how did it go?
So Haley had 4 books come out. And it was kind of interesting because this gets into kind of the shared universe stuff. We worked together to put together the Bible.
Right.
Because we found that even working within myself, I would struggle to remember, okay, like, for example, is this world capitalized? Is this world italicized?
Right.
Yeah.
Because, of course, not only do I dig into various languages, I kind of made up my own, patois. So it's like, so when we say this, do we have to italicize it or, but anyway.
Standardizing.
Is Druid treated like a rank, like how when you address military people, which something I learned from the 4-HU.
Right.
But so we had to put together the Bible. One of the other challenges we ran into with the 4-HU, I think, is that the Bible didn't keep up with the universe.
Oh, yeah. Because it was so fast, right? Like there were so many people writing at once. Yeah. Yeah.
The 4-HU literally exploded. And so I didn't want to have that happen with the Milesian Accords. But I mean, we weren't in danger of that because we weren't doing like a big, collected anthology and stuff like that. But I wanted to make it easy, not only for me, but for, the other writers to be able to keep track of stuff and, know, okay, when they were referencing something like the rules for it, things like that. Because like I have specific rules for magic in the Milesian Accords that's, a little bit different from, other fantasy worlds. I have one of the rules in the Milesian Accords is no vampires or werewolves.
Okay.
But I love werewolves, but why so mean?
Because one, I think they're a little overdone. But actually, just there is another reason besides me going, romantic. Is that Kevin Hearn, who writes the Iron Druid Chronicles, uses them heavily.
I forgot about that.
I wanted to make sure to set my universe apart from his. In fact, I stopped reading the Iron Druid Chronicles when I started working on Milesian Accords because I didn't want to risk cross-pollinating too much because
very smart.
The Venn diagram overlaps a bit. And that probably like a gesture on the camera, but it overlaps quite a bit.
We're feral, man. It's fine. Yeah. Well, cool. What else? So what would you say you learned from being the IP owner of a shared world universe besides keep the Bible current?
So one of the hard things about being an IP holder for a shared universe is letting other people in your sandbox and knowing they're going to play with your toys.
Yeah.
And we ran into the before. It's my toy. I want to play with it.
Yeah.
Do you have time to play with it? No.
Then maybe you need to let other kids play with it. Yeah.
Let other kids play with the toys.
Yeah. I can remember talking with Haley while she was She's gonna be mad when she watches this. Why are you guys talking about me? But I can remember talking with her while she was writing those books, and she had nothing but really great things to say about you as a senior author, as a IP owner, as a collaborator. How are you so good at that? What do you do that makes you so good at doing all those things?
I think a little of it stems into kind of my professional background, in which every job, every like industry I've worked in, I end up becoming some sort of trainer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, my mom was a teacher, my grandmother was a teacher, my great aunt was a teacher. We had tons of teachers in the family. It's kind of a miracle I didn't become a teacher myself. Part of that was in college when I taught Spanish to fourth graders. The kids were great. The parents, not so much.
Mm.
Yeah. Heard that more than once.
I have also heard that. Yes. So was that how that ended up working out? Kind of like as a mentor, mentor student relationship?
I don't want to like say, I don't want to like inflate, my role too much. One of the things that, like, for example, okay.
Or is it more of just like a communication style thing?
Well, it was communication, but also when I started writing, Chris Kennedy was a great mentor for me.
Yeah.
And so I learned from him not only how to write, I think, but also like what someone should look for when mentoring other writers.
Oh, okay.
And so, I wanted to emulate that, kind of pay it forward.
Finish your thought, and then we'll go to Melissa.
That's funny. Like, I have something, but please keep talking.
Haley probably got tired of me like saying, nope, you're limited on your drama dots.
Yeah, yeah.
Again with the rude. Why? Pry my drama dots from my cold dead hands.
What were you going to say, Melissa?
I would also like to add that I, from the outside looking in, think that Oz is a great mentor and everything, because he 100% has always followed the number one rule of CKP: don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Oz is a great person in general, and every time I've worked with you has been amazing. We're not going to pay attention to the yelling out there. I'm sure it's fine.
Maybe it's puppy related.
Puppy related. We made me go puppy, y'all. I am tired.
Yeah, I think those are all really, really important points when it comes to like running a shared universe, right? Is communicating clearly, and really, and I think this is kind of what you were saying when you said, looking for good ways to mentor people. Like I have had the privilege of editing people both for shared world anthologies, but also for like other anthologies who are way more senior than I in terms of like experience in this business, and huge fan bases, and and what's that?
So that has to be a little nerve-wracking.
Well, yeah, a little. And editing an anthology is not necessarily the same thing as running a shared world IP, but there's still an element of how do I do my job and make this the best it can be without coming across as someone who is too big for her britches, right? Mm-hmm. And so like that was one of the things that when I started Ashes of Entecea, which is my shared world universe, that I was like, all right, I need to make sure that I'm coming across as, the definitive authority on these things, but also not shutting people down. That's part of that, like letting people play with your toys, right?
That's a really, really challenging thing is you don't want to stifle their creative freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the whole point of another author is to have someone do something a little bit different.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Now, Kevin Steverson is also a good shared universe owner.
Oh, he's fantastic. Yeah.
He is so kind and so gracious. And when you go to him and be like, hey, I would like to do this thing. Can we figure this out? And he's like, okay, you can't do it exactly like that, but what if you did this? And I'm like, sold. Mm-hmm. So he's like not shutting people down, right? Like working with them, like, okay, you have this cool idea. It kind of breaks the rules a little bit. So let's figure out how to make it work versus no.
Yeah. And from a reader perspective, I think that's attractive as, because I'm also a reader, right? So I love getting to see the breadth of what all of these, that's part of the reason that you like shared world universes, right? Is you get multiple people's voices, but also multiple people's ideas, multiple people's creativity, in your short story, in Remnants of Empire, Oz, you came up with this incredible sword thing that works perfectly within the pseudo-scientific space opera nanite lore of the universe, but was never something that I had ever thought of, right? So if you'd come to me and been like, hey, I want to do this thing with this sword that assembles itself, out of the ambient nanites, which is sort of the basis of basically the whole universe. Is that there's ambient nanites everywhere. And then, if I had not allowed you to do that, one, your story would not have been as good. It wouldn't, because it was such a cinematic, climactic moment. And two, you wouldn't have had as much fun, and that would have also played into the story. And you probably wouldn't have wanted to write a novel in it, which is what you are doing right now. Yay.
And it's called Sword of the Buchanan, huh?
Oh, is that the sword? Tell me that's the sword that we're talking about.
So that is the sword we're talking about. Now we're gonna get a little bit into and see. So you know how the different worlds all have their terraforming repeaters, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the nobles have to be key to the repeaters to control them.
Correct.
Well, so my world is basically Space Scotland.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah, cheers.
I didn't speak Ireland, so no judgment.
High Clan claymores are basically like their keys for their districts.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
You can see why a Great Clan sword could figure in, as an important plot element in.
Yeah. Well, and it's so that's what's so cool about that. This is like symmetry, right? Because the whole reason that I created the Ashes of Entecea universe was because I wanted to tell a story that kind of harkened back to medieval Europe and the crazy inter-family politics and bloodlines and things like that, when people's descent was really all that mattered, right? That was the basis for alliances, that was the basis for warfare, that was the basis for all of the inheritance and stuff. But I wanted there to be a genuine reason why you had to be a descendant of this particular family line in order to be able to run this planet or live on this planet. And so that's what I came up with, was that the nano terraforming that kept the planet habitable was actually tied into the certain DNA sequences that would reoccur in families, certain gene sequences that would reoccur in families. And so having the clan sword be a physical representation of that is it's so symmetrical, because you're going to have these swords that are going to be because the other piece of the Ashes of Entecea is that it's a fallen empire. It's been balkanized. They've lost so much technology. So, oh man, that's so cool. I'm so excited, Oz. I cannot wait to read this freaking manuscript.
and there may be another motorcycle chase.
Oh, yay! It's too bad I've got my books packed up, but otherwise I'd show that gorgeous cover. It's a Sam Kennedy cover.
Oh, it's in the other room.
Maybe Jeremy can flash it up or something.
Yeah,
maybe I'll send him. I'll see if I can send him the art. Anyway, here it is. Ta-da! And then if it's not there, Jeremy, just cut that out, or not, leave it, and people will just laugh at me. Anyway, the point is, Oz had this great hover cycle, velocycle chase scene in his story for Remnants of Empire. And the minute I read it, I was like, that's going on the cover. So I sent Sam the description of it, and he was basically I don't think Sam swears, but it was the Sam Kennedy version of fuck yeah. He was like, I'm so excited to do this. Yeah, it's a really great cover.
Gorgeous.
I mean, all of them are, right?
I don't think we've embarrassed Oz quite enough yet, because I also have to go like, okay, I am a romance girly. Obviously, I love having like a strong romantic subplot, and Oz fucking killed it in that short story. And then you guys, because we are smug first readers, we might not have read his novel yet, but he sent us a little snippet, and I was just like, yes.
I was a little proud of that line. I mean, like I always say, like I can't write. I can do relationships, but I don't think I'm good at romance. But when that hit me, I was just like,
it was good.
Yeah,
it was good.
As I said, somebody get Book Talk on the phone, because it was very good.
So a little inside baseball. Before I wrote the Buchanan for Ashes of Entecea, I read a Highland romance just to kind of
see this
like or something like that. But it's like, yeah, and then I was like, all right, how do I do like kind of a stereotypical romance thing with the whole Highland thing? I'm like, well, of course we have to have twins and mistaken identity.
Yeah. That story is such a great example of something that we were talking about in a recent video that we recorded that I have no idea when it'll be out, so whatever. But we were talking about different tropes, right? And how you can you can subvert tropes, but subverting tropes does not mean being disrespectful to the source material and to the people who enjoy those tropes. Subverting tropes just means, it was when we were talking to Shammy, just means like showing the trope in a new and interesting way.
Subvert the trope.
Don't shit on the trope. Exactly. Yeah. So, and you did that awesomely with the twins, the mistaken identities, the nobleman in disguise. Like
I remember I sent the proposal. I was like, okay, mistaken identity, kind of enemies to lovers, forced proximity, and you write back, Oz, are you writing me a romance?
Yeah, I did. I was like,
here's the tropes checklist. Yes, I am in.
I was like, I mean, I'm in. Let's go. But it was not what I was expecting to see from you. It was. I mean, how do you choose between your children, right? But it was such a good story, and I had so much fun reading it, and I'm so grateful that you gave it to me for that anthology. So, yeah, it was Maybe whenever we figure out that this video is going to go live, maybe we'll talk to Chris and see if you can put it on sale that week or something. Because you guys should go read it. More people should read that anthology.
It is
so good.
Solid info. And I am biased because I'm in it too. But all the stories are so good.
Yeah. Melissa wrote Space Ireland, so we've got like the Space British Isles here.
I had to read The Angry Irish Space Princess. I mean, it was in the rules.
I cannot. You and I are going to write that fucking book, girl.
It's happening.
I don't know when, but it's going to happen. Yeah.
It's happening.
It's happening. I have lost track of everything that I was saying. This is why I just got so busy talking about how good your story was. So how's it going on Sword of the Buchanan? How far are you getting?
I am at 25,000 words.
Nice.
I told Chris I'd have it to him by the end of April.
Okay.
Some panic writing involved.
You got this.
It's gonna happen.
I'm doing about 1,500 words a day right now.
Nice. That's solid.
Oh, that's solid. Yeah.
I may have put a whole bunch of plot elements in a sequential order with assigned to point of view characters. I'm told this is called an outline.
Oh yeah. Did it hurt? Did it hurt your soul doing that?
I felt a little dirty.
Welcome to the dark side, my friend.
We'll see how well the outline survives the Kool-Aid Man.
Well,
yeah, sure. Yeah.
I've tried this in the past where I've used what I call the Lego outline, where I turn all the little plot points into blocks and I build the wall. All the POV characters, and about a third of the way through the book, the Kool-Aid Man appears.
There we go.
Where'd these blocks go? Where'd this block come from?
Yeah.
My chaos outlining is my friend.
Yeah. I wrote, for my current work in progress, I wrote a detailed outline, and then I rewrote it as per my process. And then I sat down to write it. like actually write the book after 3 iterations of outlining, and I immediately was like, fuck it, nah. I'm gonna go do this instead. I was like, well,
yeah, just like
eventually I think that I'm working back toward outline territory. So it was just sort of like an immediate divert and then back on course.
I'm usually good about ending up where I plan.
Yeah.
Pants stuff. I'd have the start point and the end point.
Yeah.
I like to say the Milesian Accord. So A Reluctant Druid started out as one book, and then it became a trilogy because I'm a pantser.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah.
Because I knew where I wanted to start, and I knew where I wanted to end. It's the journey getting there. It took a lot longer than I expected.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at with this book. But
Personally, I'm finding writing from an outline or outline-ish. One of the things I have to look out for is that I will write terser, faster.
Mm.
Okay, well, boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've taken to doing is I'll go through, I'll like do a scene or a chapter, then I'll go back to the start of that scene or chapter, and okay, what did I skimp on?
Yep.
Did I detail?
Rolling edits.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you rewrite your beginnings after you have finished after you've written the end draft?
No.
I have found that, and I know Marisa does this, and you do it a fair amount too, Melissa. Like after you get all the way to the beginning through the draft, it's like, I gotta fix this beginning now because things are slightly different than I thought that they were gonna be.
No, I tend to like randomly seed, what I call Chekhov's magic wand,
mm-hmm.
where I'll throw in an element, and then I'll be writing later on and go, oh, hey, that thing I mentioned in
that's what that's for.
Worked really good here.
Yeah. Oh, that's incredible that you can just sort of intuitively do that. I have to go back and insert them a lot of times.
Well, part of it is because as a journalism major back in college,
yeah,
we were still using typewriters.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I was also using typewriters for my term papers. So in general, my first draft was my final draft.
Yeah.
Mm.
And between that and gaming made me really good at improvisational storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because once you introduce, players to it, they're almost as bad as characters. It's like rules of their own going.
Yep. Oh, that's awesome.
More like guidelines than rules.
Well,
right.
and there's a ton of evidence that the DM to writer pipeline is very short. Like very short and very wide. Like a lot of people come to writing through.
There is a broad overlap in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, Gary Gygax was a writer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's invented D&D.
Yep.
Right.
Shit. What was I gonna say?
We are almost at an hour, and I don't know how we actually did that again. Every time, y'all.
Every time. That's why we don't do time math, because we can't fucking keep track of it.
Not be trusted.
Oz, if people wished to consensually and respectfully stalk you on the internet or in person, where could they find you?
Okay, well, online is pretty easy. On Facebook, I'm at Jon R. Osborne.
Mm-hmm.
My website is jonrosborne.com.
Nice.
Both Instagram and Threads at Jon R. Osborne. On Twitter, at Druid Oz, because it's before I started writing.
Sure. Fair enough. And then what about like conventions and stuff? You going to any of those?
I will be, if you're in the Indiana area, I'll be at Indianapolis Comic-Con as a panelist.
Ooh,
Very cool.
Knock on wood. That's the plan so far. I may be tabling there as well.
Okay.
They're trying something different with like a kind of an author alley sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fun.
Like having a table for the whole convention. You have like a few hours in an author alley, which can let you like get in there and get in front of some people for a short period without being trapped the entire time.
Yeah.
I'll be at LibertyCon.
Yay.
I'll be at Imaginarium.
Nice.
Oh, very cool.
Be at Lit RPG Con.
Yay.
I'll be at Gen Con, obviously, because that is my nerd mecca.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't sell there. I go there to game. I may run a few games.
Nice.
And
Are you
then
going to run Rules of Engagement?
that is, I kind of want to run a couple sessions of Rules of Engagement. I also want to run a game I ran a couple years ago that involved people from the modern world discovering magic weapons built into rings, and then they go to the fantasy world. You may be aware of this story, Kacey.
I feel like it's tweaking something in the back of my head.
So your D&D portal fantasy sort of scenario.
Yeah.
And then of course I'll be at Dragon Con.
Yes.
Awesome. No, that's great. Man, you're gonna be busy, dude.
From June into July is nuts. Over 6 weeks, they have 4 conventions.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
That hurts.
That's a lot.
It was going to be 5, but In Conjunction moved off their typical weekend this year.
Wow. Yeah. Melissa.
Yes.
Wait, before we do that, Oz, what do you have? Do you have anything coming out soon, other than Rules of Engagement for the
Rules of Engagement? Once it delivers to the
Kickstarter backers,
it will be available on Drive-Thru RPG in both print and PDF. We're also going to make the PDF available on Chris Kennedy Publishing.
Nice.
Very cool.
You'll also, and the book is not just for gamers. It's a great source book for the 4HU. If you've wondered what aliens look like or want to know more information about them, if you want to know every block of every mark of Casper, the details are in there. There's also a bunch of what I call microfiction. Where you see some familiar characters and little snippets that add more background. Some from books, but the vast majority of them are brand new.
Yeah.
Excellent.
You'll see locales within the universe fleshed out. We're also going to make the art book available.
Oh, that's awesome.
If you just want the pretty pictures, then you'll be able to pick that up as well.
Oh, that's
so
great.
hopefully, I'm really hoping we have the physical books in our hands in time to hand deliver them to people at LibertyCon.
That would be so cool.
Publisher schedule.
Yeah. The print schedule is crazy. I know a lot of people who have had Kickstarters that they're like, "It's coming, guys. I promise."
And then, like I said, my plan is to deliver Sword of Buchanan to Chris and you by the end of April. And then book 7 of the Milesian Accords, A Smoking Mirror, I'll have to him by Dragon Con.
Nice. A smoking mirror?
I love it.
That is an amazing title.
For those of you who have read the short stories, and she appears as a little bit in a couple of the novels, this one will delve a lot more into Grace and her family backgrounds.
Oh.
Because she has some brujeria in her background, but she also has something from Mesoamerica.
Ooh. I can't wait for that one.
I can't wait. Also, what a great title. That's so good. Cool. Melissa, what do you got going on this year?
So I have,
and we never even
introduced. I know when this is coming out, but
who are you?
We're going to introduce ourselves. Hi, we're Feral.
Yeah,
welcome to our channel.
There are no rules.
So I have the sequel to Rise from Ruin coming out on July 7th, Tempered by Fire. And y'all, if I haven't mentioned it this episode, but I know I've mentioned it in other places. So Oz is actually a character in my Griffin.
He's one of my favorite characters.
He was so gracious. Like, I'm like, hey Oz, I need I need a name. Can I borrow your name? Can I have your name, please? I'll give it back. I'm not the Fae. It's fine. But it was he was supposed to be a minor character. I just needed an instructor at the Academy's name. And then I loved him so much because I love Oz so much. I'm like, oh no. He's become a pivotal character in this series. So I can't wait to hear what Oz thinks about his character in book 2. He's
works with minor characters. Like Ashmet from the Milesian Accords.
Yeah. Or Acton and Tyrus from Blood on the Sand.
Right? Yeah. I love it. I love when that happens.
Yeah.
So, yep, I've got that coming out. I have a secret project that I still can't talk about because I don't have permission, but that will be out, I believe, in October.
That's so exciting. I hope you can talk about it before then.
I swear I'm not doing this to be mean. It's not a marketing gimmick. It's literally like, I don't have permission yet.
Secret project, the bane of your existence.
Yeah.
Fun too.
Yeah.
So
For the record, I know nothing, so.
You do not know nothing yet, but maybe I'll tell you a secret when we goodbye. Anyways, so I have that, and then I will be at LibertyCon and DragonCon and maybe Imaginarium, because Rise from Ruin is a
That's right.
It is a fantasy novel finalist. And
Don't we all have stuff?
we all do. So
We all do, yeah.
Well, audio.
My narrator does.
Your narrator is reading your prose.
True. It's true. Yeah.
And then Oz, you're up for 2 categories?
Urban fantasy and science fiction.
Oh, that's so great. That's so great. That's awesome.
Sweep it. It'll be fine.
And you had a book come out in January.
Yes. I have all my books. I just have a whole stack here. So I had
none books.
So we'll do our shit. Okay, so this is the first book in mine and Jason Cordova's Mill Sci-Fi series. Very much a return to that hopeful Mill Sci-Fi and adventure. We're working on book 2 again now that I've gotten through 2 months worth of edits on other things. And then because I still have them right here, Kacey and I and Marisa were in the Monster Hunter International Canto, which what is our lives? It's so cool. Yeah. That's Marisa's story on the cover.
It was really fun.
That'd be fun to write in.
Yeah.
Really cool. Oh, and we can't forget about Jamie Ibsen, who is another CKP author who got to do an anthem that just came out. We were recording this on March 12th. So this came out on March 3rd?
3rd, I think. Yeah.
3rd, 4th. Time math. Don't trust me.
Earlier this month.
Hey, if we have Jamie on, he could be like a feral Canadian.
Oh, he could be our feral Canadian.
Feral Canadian for the win. I love it.
Yeah, yes. I do too. Okay,
so that's what I got going on. Kacey.
Hi. Yes, I also had so I had stories in those 2 anthologies. And then I had a book come out in February called Companions in Anguish. It was written by David Shadoin with me and Kevin Eikenberry. And the reason that I said the names like that is because Shady did like 80% of the work. but Ike and I filled in here and there as necessary. He did such a great job with that book. It's one of the Exodus series in the Four Horsemen universe, so it's a companion novel, thus the title convention, but also it was taking a lot of those hanging story threads and kind of grouping them together. Yeah. I
mean, that's something about Exodus is this last series before you is they're a lot tighter. It's a lot tighter knit than most of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're doing a lot of collaborations. So that came out in February. That's Companions in Anguish. I'm sorry I don't have any copies because I have none books. My books are not here right now, and which makes me sad. But there you have it. In addition to that, April 7th, Blood on the Sand releases, and so again, I don't know when this is going up, but this week, actually, I had my short story Grief go live on Bane.com. So whenever you're seeing this, you can go. It's still there. It's Bane.com/grief, just spelled in the normal way. And it'll come up and you can read a free short story set in the Mage Light universe. And it will answer a couple of questions that you may have had after Mage Light. So yeah. But then April 7th, Blood on the Sand comes out, and I'm very excited about that. I cannot wait for you guys to read this one. Oz is partially responsible, by the way, for Mage Light. The first time I started talking about it was when we were at 20 Books together.
That's right.
And Oz and I were sitting in the casino bar. It was you and me, and I think Rob Howell was there for part of the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was
help spitball with this. Is like,
yeah. I was like, you guys, I have this idea and I want to do this thing, and it's kind of reverse harem, but it's also kind of like D&D-ish. And yeah. So Oz is directly responsible for the term Aegeon and Geish. Yeah.
Nice.
I got those from him.
I was 2 years old.
Yep. So anyway, and then I think that might be the last thing I have coming out this year. Potentially.
I always feel like we're forgetting something because
Yeah.
chaos.
Well, Romanov might come out this year, but might not. I think it might push to next year. I don't know. So we'll see. But as far as conventions, I will be right now. I am scheduled to be at LibertyCon, Lit RPG Con, and Dragon Con. All of those may be subject to change for related reasons, as to my books disappearing. But right now, I'm planning on being there. So we'll see. Hopefully, I'll see you guys there. Yeah, hour and 5. Good job, everybody. We're over time. Okay. Any saved rounds? Anything you want to say before we go? No. Buy Oz's books, guys.
gotcha.
Buy Oz's books. Buy Oz beer. Both
Yes. Bye, Oz
Yeah.
beer.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks for giving us. This was great.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, Oz. This was
Well,
so
thanks
much
for
fun. Yeah, of course. Oh, I have one more thing. If you're watching us this long, then you're obviously amazing and you obviously like us. So make it official. Give us the thumbs up, and come hang out with us at least twice a month. But if you subscribe, you don't even have to do that time math, because YouTube will do the work for you and let you know. So you should probably do that. And
So great.
we like you, and your friends are probably pretty cool. So bring them along. Tell them about the channel. Let's grow this community, but only if they're cool, because we don't want your jerk friends. They can stay home.
So like and subscribe only if you're cool.
Right.
Only
That's
cool.
right. Like and subscribe if you're cool. Only cool people will do that.
We made an exception. Exception. God, I can't talk. We made an exception for Nick Severson. That is our one feral menace jerk.
Exception.
Position. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we had one. We only had room for one. The exception
Yeah.
is the rule. All right. On behalf of Marisa Wolf, I'm Kacey Zell. That's Melissa Altoff. This is Oz the Feral Bachelor. We love you guys. We'll see you later.
Bye.
I'm gonna hit the button a bunch of times and then eventually it'll stop.
At some point, we'll stop.